West Ham 4, Wolverhampton Wanderers nil. What a absolutely unbelievably massive win. Absolutely massive win. It is, and for some reason I've titled this Absolutely Win, but it's an absolutely massive win for West Ham. Honestly, I was nervous not because I thought like we wasn't going to win or we couldn't win or it was just one of those games, right? It was one of those games that is a potential banana skin. Here we go. Brian's in the house. Mate, whoo, 4-0. Mad.
Listen, what a way to start the weekend, Dan. What a way to start the weekend. Now we can just kick
Wait, is it
back.
your end? I can't hear you. I don't know if they can hear you or it's just me. Let me double check if it's me. It might be me.
Check one,
No, I
two,
think it's
one,
your
two.
end. There it is. You're
My
coming
end,
through.
yeah?
You're coming through.
Yeah, yeah, you can hear me now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, what a way to start the weekend, Dan. What a way to start the weekend. You know what I mean? Now we can kick back and just watch what happens, you know?
Yeah, that is the beauty of playing on a Friday night. Like, honestly, I went into this. I think I predicted 2-1 or something like that. And I thought it was going to be nervy. Mate, the way that game started, you could not have told me that was going to end 4-0 the way we started in that second half. They was all over us.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think, look, we needed, with the formation we chose, Nuno went for it, we went for a really attacking. And the thing was, we needed the crowd to kind of get behind us, and we weren't really doing anything that enhanced that. We really struggled to get possession of the ball. I think Wolves' formation kind of gave us problems, particularly in our centre midfield. We were not able to get control of the game. Fernandez and Soucek just seemed to be getting overrun with like the box midfield they were playing, and I think that contributed to Wolves' dominance. And then with what then happened is that we got nervous. Do you know what I mean? And by getting nervous, then the crowd were getting on our back a little bit, and then it made us really sloppy in possession, particularly in the fullback positions. And it was just a half where it was almost resonance of the beginning of the Leeds game. You know, at the start of the Leeds game, we were super sloppy,
Yeah.
and I was just thinking, you know what, we could be in for a long, long, long night. Do you know what I mean? And I guess one of the things with Wolves is they struggle with crosses. So I thought this was a game in some ways perfect for the system for us to sort of rain down with crosses, but we didn't really do that. And the irony is, obviously, our first goal came from a cross, effectively. Um, there's a lot of chat
Perfect
about
cross.
whether it was a corner or not. And it depends on what angle you see it, you know, because my first instant view was like, you know what, it definitely is a corner. It came off the guy, but then when you see it again from a few views, it's touch and go, you know. But listen, I don't care. We need that luck. Do you know what I mean? We need that luck right about now. And Mavropanos, what a goal! What a couple of goals!
Both. Both goals. Like the second one was impressive, but I was like, I gave it more to like the assist was perfect from Bowen, but the header was nice. The second finish from Bowen, mate, the strength, the hold up, and for him to just hold the guy up and whip it round, mate, that was what a turnaround that man has had, mate. I love him.
Yeah, for real, for real. And you
Man
know
of the
what though,
match for
like,
me.
yeah, yeah, definitely, 100%. Same here, same here. But I think for me, this game sort of typifies what confidence can do. You could see, like in the first half, it felt like everyone was playing with a backpack on their back. Do you know what I mean? And then once we got that goal, it was sort of a big release of energy, and you can see we started the second half with intent, with purpose. We were the ones that looked a bit more slicker. We were trying to press the ball and get high turnovers. We were in the ascendancy a lot more. Suchek and Fernandez were playing slightly higher up, which was allowing us to get those turnovers and make those counter attacks a bit quicker, and that made all the difference. But it's just confidence, and I think that's something we've suffered with for the whole of this season and beyond and beyond. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes I look at us and I just think we're a terrible team, but we do
Mm.
have decent players, but we just don't seem to always turn it on. And I feel confidence has just been a massive, massive, massive thing. And yeah, what a second half! Second half was a good game to watch. Trust me.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Let me quickly read this. Shout out to Coral 499 super chat. Huge 3 points. Shame Adama didn't score. We'll talk about that. Mavro was great. Great assist by Pablo, but did bugger all else. Got to be more direct from now on in games. That Traore goal, right? Miss was the most Traore fucking thing you'll ever see. Where he's through, and I'm like, finally, he's gonna get the goal, and he doesn't score that. And he's just like, my
Yeah,
god.
rush of blood to the head. That's what we needed. If Traore and Pablo got on the score sheet, then it would be the perfect night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You
That was a
see how
great
he,
assist from Pablo, though. That was a
yeah,
really good assist.
absolutely. I think he's got it in him. I think he's been struggling. I think he hasn't really adapted well um, to the pace of the league. But in addition to that as well, I think he is sacrificing elements of his game just to make the rest of the team work. He is playing in a position that it's not like he's not the lead man. Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
playing off a bit, and I think is taken away potentially
but
from
it
his
has
game.
it
But
has freed up Somerville though. Like
well,
so
that's
it's
the
worked.
thing. I think, yeah. I mean, me and you've had a conversation about this in the past, but I do feel what the guys bring in terms of Pablo and Tati, it has galvanized Somerville. Do you know what I mean? It's galvanized him, and it's
Mm.
put him and Bowen as outlets as well. So despite the goal output not being the best, it has brought a different element to the whole round team game.
I have to say, right, Tatty's 2 goals, and I take nothing away from this and buzzing for him and hope that gives him the confidence. Especially this first one, you think surely keeper's got to be saving that. I think the second one maybe took a little deflection or so, but the first one it
Mm,
sort of bobbled in, and I was shocked for a second that it actually went in. I didn't expect it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I like Tati, man. I think he's one of those guys, man, that's got great technical ability. He's not gonna get you a load of goals, but he works hard, as we know. But he's got good technical ability, man. And I think like I'm happy for him because obviously the goal output from both him and Pablo is not the best. So I'm glad like he's doubling up on his numbers now, and I do
Yeah.
feel all of that will just enhance the confidence more and more for
Yeah,
him.
with some of them chances he missed against Leeds, like, and you're like,
Oh,
how has he not put them away? And now to come and score 2 huge goals, like them goals were huge. Like the Mavropanos one was, but at that point it was still nervy. Like he's basically in the space of like under 2 minutes, he's essentially killed the game off in a way. Like the timings of those goals, mate, was massive.
yeah, absolutely. And again, they were saying it was around a minute 38 or something with those
Yeah,
two goals, and yeah, it definitely killed the game. I think Wolves made changes they didn't need to make when they made a couple of substitutions. I think that also aided into the situation. But yeah, man, like this is what we need. It was one of those ones where today I didn't care how we got the win as long as we got the win. And to get 4 goals, it's a statement. We've put a statement out there now. Goal difference is terrible, so making that look a little bit better, making it closing it down to around 5, 6. Um, it
yeah,
might no longer be a point if we continue. We've got 6 cup finals now, and we literally just got to play every game with real intent. And we're slow starters. We need to knock that on the head. Do you know what I mean? Because if you play
yeah.
certain teams, they could be out of sight.
It's an interesting comment on Bowen. Still needs improvement now. Bowen, he had them moments like he's that moments player. Like he hit the post again after doing it twice against Leeds. Obviously, picture perfect assist. He put one good corner. He's put some terrible corners in still, but he's still like he'll still run into the ground. But he has these moments where he'll just run the ball out of play, like
Yeah,
or run into a brick wall, and that's frustrating.
I think with Bowen, it's a weird one at the moment because despite him not having his best game, he was very integral to the result today with a couple of assists. He made things happen as well, despite it not
Yeah,
being his best game. I think Bowen personally is trying to do too much. I think he is one of the players that has a weight on his shoulders where he feels he needs to be the talisman. And I think that's contributing to his form. And he's slightly off it. He's been off it for a little while. But with that being said, he's still an integral part of the team. And I think if you take him out of the team today, things could have been slightly different because he was involved in all of our key plays. And a couple of interesting stats that I heard in that game from commentary. Bowen's basically the second highest assist player in the Premier League, just behind Bruno Fernandes, which
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
surprised me. And also, Diouf is the highest defender with the most assists in the Premier League, which that equally surprised me as well.
yeah. Yeah, it's one of them ones, isn't it? I guess it's like we're so used to him being the main man and on the score sheet. Like I said, he almost both Tatty goals are almost carbon copies because how they started, that press, Somerville for the first one, the tackle he made, almost Bowen one was almost a carbon copy, right, of that. So you definitely give them credit, both of them credit in the second and third goals. But yeah, now for us to be out of that bottom three, Spurs have got a game in hand. But that psychologically for Spurs now, the Spurs fans are so nervy that they're really fearful. They've dropped in there. Kudus is injured now, probably for the season. Like, this is huge. That's all over to Sunderland now. All over to
Mm.
Sunderland.
And you know what, Dan, as well? It's not even just Spurs, the way how the fixtures have laid out, we've really drawn everyone else back in. I mean, if you look at Leeds' game on Sunday or Monday, actually, they
Monday,
got
yeah.
Man United away. They suffered a lot of injuries in the game against us. Do you know what I mean? And I think they might be feeling the effects. That's going to be a tough game for them. I can't see them winning that game, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. So
Villa at home for Forest as well. So we could
Villa at home,
end the
yeah,
weekend 1 point, 2 points above Spurs potentially, equal points to Forest and 1 point behind Leeds. That's a really strong position to be in from where we
and
were.
yeah, and this is what I mean. I think now I really believe it's going to go right down to the wire. This I don't want that to happen, but I feel yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it will probably go down to the wire. And with that being said, I think if if we continue to do what we're doing and other teams pick up one or two results here and there, it's just going to keep everyone in the mix. Whereas the last month, I've been saying that I just feel it's a straight shootout between us and Spurs. But I don't know,
Yeah.
I think them teams could get drawn in again, particularly Leeds.
Do you know what my only tiny little criticism of today, my tiny little, apart from obviously the awful first half on Nuno, would be I really want him to bring Kante on. Like, I've really liked what I saw of him against Leeds. I've liked what I've seen against him every time he's played, but Leeds especially, he brought that energy, and I was just puzzled to not see him come on, especially 3-0 up. We brought on Magassa and Potts, and just put listen 4-0 whatever, but I would have liked to seen Kante and see him get more time going forward.
Yeah, I would have done Kante for Pablo personally. But with that being said, Magassa's probably the players that's most out of form at the moment. His last three games, he's really, really bad. And I think it's a matter of bringing him on to try and give him some minutes, protected minutes, where he can get his confidence back. And that's not a bad thing because if we're going to play this system, which everyone's calling for in terms of being a 4-4-2 and sometimes occasionally a 4-1-1, if we're going to play it, then we basically need all the people down the middle to be on their A game. The one concern I personally have with this particular system is that, or our squad, is that we don't really have someone that is really good at sweeping things up in midfield, being an anchor man, deep line midfield, who is good enough to protect the back four, but also has the ability to break play and give it to Fernandez. We've tried Potts, we've tried Magassa, and they're not ready. What they bring legs and they bring energy, but in these crunch games we have, they will still get overrun. And I think what we can sometimes do as fans is get carried away with prospect players. And I think using Kante in the way he's being used is the right play at the moment because he has sort of leaked a few players with the cameo appearance he's made. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's ready to be starting. So yeah, I'm happy for him to keep developing, but I just don't feel, yeah, I don't want to ruin him as well at the same time because we're in the situation now where every game is so important. You can see the nerves, man. I just felt the players to me look nervous,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think
why they were
it
sloppy passing.
translated in the stadium. For you could, I think the fans felt nervous, the players, and it ended up bearing out into the actual onto the pitch. And when we got that goal, as that bit of relief, and you see the next one, like the fans coming up and that celebration. I said this is going to do wonders going forward. We've got the bad taste of the Leeds loss out of our mouths and the Villa
Mm,
loss. And we've been able to right it wrong, and we go on to Palace away, which is going to be tough, but it's huge. It's not unwinnable. You know, they're going to be really focused on Europe.
yeah,
They've got the extra days rest than they would have, but their record hasn't been great when they've been in Europe. So hopefully that helps. But how are you feeling about? Obviously, we spoke a bit at the finalysis of it, but like right now, as it stands, how are you feeling on this relegation battle? Like, are you confident? Are you thinking that Spurs are banging trouble, or one of the other teams are going to drop down? Like, where are you at with relegation?
up until today, I was kind of saying that I felt it was a straight coin toss between us and Spurs. I felt one of us would go down. A lot was riding on this game. The Villa performance was a bit of a surprise for me. It's not necessarily the losing; it was the application of the game. It was a big setback for me personally. What I witnessed, and therefore it got me a bit worried. I think the timing of Spurs' appointment of De Zerbi, whether it's panic or whatever, that may give them a little galvanization. Who knows? But um, I think now the psychological battle is on them now because this is the first time that they're in the bottom three. I think, you know, their whole team would have been watching that game tonight. Do you see what I mean? So I, the crucial games for me was this one. This one was the game I was probably the most nervous about because I didn't think it was a gimme. Despite I thought we'd win, I didn't think it. I knew it was going to be a tricky game, but obviously we made light work of it eventually. But there's this game. There's the game against Everton as well. I think will be like a really, really tricky game. Um, People say the Arsenal game, but not bothered about that game to be honest with you, because I think we'll actually turn up, and I think the way how Arsenal play, it will allow us um, opportunities to try and get something because they're going to sit back and you know what I mean. So not bothered about that game because I think we could actually surprise a few people. Um, yeah, I, I don't know. I don't know, Dan. I'm
It's so
quietly
tight, man.
confident.
It's so tight to
It,
call, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, it is. It is. I think, yeah, it is really tight to call. Palace, that game as well. I'm more relaxed about that game than I would have been with today's game. To be fair, because I think playing away um, at Palace, we don't do too bad there. They obviously do always turn us over at home. So I think their concentration is firmly on Europe now. So I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
care too much about that. I think we could get
No.
something from that game.
And yeah, that's it, you know. And who the Spurs got Brighton at home next with their home record. Like Wolves have a big save. Wolves can beat Spurs at home. Like there's so many big games, man. There's so
Yeah,
many big games coming up. And like I said, Trudge says I fully agree. Goals breed confidence. We got four
exactly.
today. Like we because our attack, obviously we had a different team because we missed Somerville and stuff like that. The goals were drying up, and to go and bang four against, okay, it's a team at the bottom of the league, but we was all looking and going, this ain't the Wolves we saw like before New Year. Like this is a rejuvenated Wolves. These are like have been a very much informed Wolves. And like I said, they look good at times. They've got some good players like Angel Gomez, like someone we were
Yeah,
linked with. He was good. They're no
yeah. No,
worries.
yeah, no. They've got some very good players, and I think There's two things with Wolves. One is they've been playing good because they've been playing with a freedom. There's almost a freedom that they're resigned to the fact that they could get relegated. And since they've been playing with a freedom, that's when they've been picking up results, particularly against opposition who have something to play for. So again, it's that pressure versus someone being relaxed. Yeah. Then the other side to Wolves is where they're very similar to us this season and historically is that they've got a mistake in them. They have lapses of concentration where they make a mistake and they give away goals. And that's something we've basically been doing for the last 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
With us, the one of the on-field reasons why we've been so bad for so long, where there's two or three reasons. One has been laziness, another one's been confidence, and the third thing's been mistakes. Now, that cocktail of things have contributed to us basically being in a position. Look how many unforced errors we've done in the last 2 years that's led to goals, poor marking, poor defending, lapses of concentration when players have just run off the back of us. And this is why Tati and Pablo have come in despite not being the best, they've come in with an energy and a work ethic that's therefore helped galvanize the team. Suchek coming back in the team again, despite not being the best aesthetically, his natural work rate has contributed to Fernandez and the overall team balance. So those three components has helped us work hard. What Nuno's been working on has been the players' his confidence because the confidence has been on the floor, as I keep going about. And he has turned around people like Mavropanos. If you look at Mavropanos, for years, Dan, me and you have been slating off Mavropanos from leaving, vacating his position to running up and, leaving all this and then losing the ball to lapses of concentration. He's got rid of all of that. Do you see what I mean? And he's just keeping things simple. And I think
That's what I was
that was
one.
the
I
hard
was.
job.
Do you? Part of it was the tactics, was the system, was the setup because he was that was the bit he was conceding them goals under Lopetegui, I believe it was like when he was like just ridiculously high up the pitch, like him and Alvarez were just up there in no man's land. You're like, what is he doing there? And then he's on right back, and then he's here, then he's there, and now he's just solid. Like, so I wonder if there's some of that's on the manager. Obviously, he's got to take some blame. Some is on the manager, some is on the tactics, or what? Because now he's just a different player than he was under Lopetegui.
Yeah, I personally feel I do feel the manager has played a part with his overall confidence and just probably asked him to strip back some of the things and just concentrate on defending, keep things simple. Steady progress of having 7 out of 10 games for a number of weeks has then built up confidence. And then let's not forget the addition of Disassi that has then elevated him and it's also calmed the back four even
Well,
more
yeah,
with him
yeah, he
having
was
such a
playing
calm
alongside
presence.
Kilman before, wasn't he?
That's right. That's right. So I think all of those kind of components that we kind of have to give credit where credit's due. That little Mavropanos, Disassi, and bringing Hermansen, that's a big, 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 big call. A big call, which some people are still not happy with, but we might got to give credit where credit's due.
He's getting them clean sheets under his belt. I said this. He didn't have too much to. He made a few decent saves. There was a couple of one good, really good save, but he
Mm.
weren't like peppered. But he's racking up the clean sheets. You got to give him that, So fair
Yeah,
play. Listen, I'm a big Areola fan, but
yeah,
come on,
same,
man,
same.
you
There was
know.
a couple of big calls. I mean, even with Walker Peters starting, I think that was the right play. I think Walker Peters had a decent game against Leeds, and he wasn't outstanding today. He was probably a 6 out of 10 for me personally. But again, he didn't really put a foot wrong, and he works hard. So keeping his place was definitely the right thing because Wan-Bissaka has not had. He's kind of out of form at the moment. He's another one who lapses of concentration has cost us.
I think there was a fitness thing as well with him, obviously coming back late and that. But
Mm,
now we've got that little bit of extra time to rest, recuperate, recover for this because we play on the Monday against Palace.
mm.
So we've got to use that little bit of extra time now. get them players a little bit, a little bit more, because we had that extra time against Leeds. I think that took a lot out of a lot of players. So get a little bit more rest and recovery for the players. Go into that Palace game again, another cup final. Completely just go all out, and yeah, mate. Hopefully another big win. But now it's all eyes on Sunderland. Before our game, Sunderland is the game. I am a Sunderland fan on Sunday, mate.
Yeah.
It's a must win. And listen, Mavropanos, the former Arsenal man, scored 2 goals against Spurs today. Can Granit Xhaka play his part? And yeah, put some
Yeah.
nails in Spurs' coffin. Let's hope
Yeah.
so. Because if they lose
Yeah.
that and then they go into the Brighton game at home, having been in the bottom 3, losing that state where they have not won any games at home all year. Come on, Sunderland, please, please. So yeah, it's huge, mate.
100%. Even if they got a draw, man, I'd take that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
just
draw. Yeah, they're
basically,
still in the bottom
yeah,
3 with a draw. So just
yeah,
don't lose Sunderland. Just
yeah,
don't lose, whatever you do. 100%. So listen, mate, let's enjoy this. Very happy hammers today, and like I said, until Sunday, let's just enjoy being out the bottom 3. Even if it's 2 days, right? Even if Spurs somehow beat Sunderland, if it's 2 days, let's enjoy it. Let's look at that table because it's been a
yeah.
long time.
Trust me.
Fucking hell, man. It's been a long time being that bottom 3. So it's like I can sort of breathe. I literally feel like I can breathe a little bit easier now. Like even though they've got game in hand, so big
Yeah,
win. So listen, great to have you back on, Brian. It feels like it's been a while.
yeah, for real,
So yeah, definitely we got to do some more bits and pieces before the end of the season for sure.
for sure.
So yeah, thanks for coming on, mate, and thank you to all of you for watching. Go back and look at some of the highlights of the watch along. Go back and check the watch along. I'm sure someone put timestamps in there. Fan cams are coming along. Be very, very happy fan cams.
Yeah,
So thank you all for watching Post Match Pint. We're probably going to do that tomorrow morning about 11 live. So do come and join us for that. So listen, thank you all so much for watching. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.
come on, you guys.
Oh, watch that.